Hello, everyone. I'm Plasma Warrior, as many like to call me, that guy, the Afro. This is a very quick reaction. The game just ended about 10 minutes ago, but I'm here to say, Titans win! Yes, I'm a Titans fan from Houston. Shut up. Texans are the overrated replacements anyway. Anywho, let's get to the point, shall we? This wasn't expected to be that blowout that Vegas was giving us. I couldn't understand why a 10-point spread. Even I had the question out. What the hey? I don't know if that was really that big of a deal for most people, but for me, I couldn't see 10 points being a difference in this game. I think it ended up being 9, but I take the Jaguars to cover. I did not say they were going to win that game. Did I just say that? No. But for a while, it almost looked like, hey, the Jaguars are going to pull off this big upset until actually one moment in the very end of the first half that at that point I was thinking it's going to take a miracle for them to win this game. Not because of the score at the time. The Jaguars are a good offense. I got to admit that. But because they did something incredibly stupid that gave Tennessee a chance to win it in the end, and they took that chance and they worked with it. But can we start off by saying, let's give Stephen Groskowski, I'm sorry. Stephen Groskowski, a lot of respect and credibility after that disaster last week. 2 for 2 from field goals, neither of them chip shots. They were tough, nearly 50-yarders both. One was 52, I believe. The other one was 49, and it ended up being the difference maker. Both teams missed an extra point, so yeah, okay, fine, whatever. We'll give it to them. They're allowed to make one mistake out of, 14? But let's talk about Ryan Tannehill. He had a very solid game, 4 touchdowns, but he didn't get over 250 yards. So, okay, grant you that was a good performance getting this ball. But here's the key point: 0 turnovers. You want to know how you win in this league? Go 0 turnovers. Always. I think that's what really changed the entire aspect of this game. He didn't throw an interception. He didn't get a strip sack. We'll talk about that in a moment. But 0 turnovers, that's how you win more times than not in the NFL. Let's admit it. Let's also say Derrick Henry, not a great game. 25 carries, 84 yards, but he had a 3.4 average. Not terrible. He did a little bit better in the third quarter, but it wasn't a great game for him. Kind of slowed down a bit. But you got to give your hats off a little bit here to James Robinson of the Jaguars. 16 carries, 102 and a touchdown. Great performance. He did his job. And really, Gardner Minshew, you can't really say he was terrible. 3 for 45. We'll talk about the 2 that he didn't have good there. 339, 3 touchdowns. The 2 interceptions, I felt like the first one, that was just backbreaking at that point. He was only 2nd and 1 on their own 45 when they gave that ball away. And great interception there. It's just, what the heck were you doing in that play? You cannot give the ball away. You're down already 7-0. You make that interception, and well, congratulations. It ends up turning it around to be a Titans touchdown. Titans up 14-0. That score would not hold, obviously. The Jaguars got a 6-play, 2-minute, 75-yard drive to score, and it's 7 points there, 14-7. And then 2 straight pumps, and then the Titans get a great drive on their own. 13-play, 63, 550, Ryan Tannehill, Jonnu Smith connection. But here's where that one moment I was talking about in the onset really bothers me. This one play. Okay, so the Jaguars do a good job. They get a field goal right before halftime. I congratulate them on this. For some inexplicably, stupidly, unknown reason, and I'm talking, this was the moment. If you want to look at a key point in this game, this was the moment. They squib kick it short of the 50. or try to onside or something. I don't know. Bottom line, all it took was another maybe 10, 15 yards, and Gronkowski hits the 51-yard field goal. It's 24-10. Look at the final score, 33-30. That was the play that cost the Jacksonville Jaguars this game. I'll say it right now. That one set of plays, you were going to lose. It would have taken a miracle to win. You're already down by 2 touchdowns. You have a chance to get something positive going into the half and keep them away from that. You lost the game at that point. Yeah, good job keeping the Titans in check from there and in, but horrible decision, horrible idea. It ended up being the difference, if you ask me. Jaguars able to run down for another touchdown, and the Titans do what I call give an answer drive back. They ended up saying, okay, you scored great, excellent work. You started on the own 11 to score that. Good job, Jacksonville. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to ram this down your throat, and you're going to like it. Great answer drive, 65 yards in 5 minutes on their end. So we're up 30-17. Then the Titans offense kind of slows down, and this defense starts to get a little bit weaker. 7 plays, 75-yard drive with only 2:48 for Gardner Minshew and company. They get a touchdown. That was bad. Titans can't do anything on their next possession, and they kick it to the Jacksonville 14. Get this, inside their 20. And it's a 9-play, 71-yard drive with 5:02 for another touchdown. Gardner Minshew was rolling until the defenses kind of stalled out the other side. Titans didn't do very much. Jaguars had the punt for the first time, I believe, the whole game. No, they had a lot of third down conversions, if I'm not mistaken. And then, end of the game scenario, I thought the Titans played this kind of bad. There was a point, final drive, they were down at 2nd and 5 on the other side of the 2-minute warning. And for some reason, they call a pass play. Now, immediately, okay, pass it on 3rd down. You want to have the Jaguars burn their final timeout, get a completion, get a few more yards, have Derrick Henry run it, at least get 3 or 4 more yards, and then you can kick the game-winning field goal with maybe a minute or two, or less than a minute, maybe 50 seconds left. No, they don't get an incompletion on 2nd and 5. The Jaguars save a timeout. It wouldn't matter in the end, but that was a very big amount of time. And it might have actually been a difference maker any other way, any other percentage. Also, it might have actually helped the Titans a little bit, and we'll talk about that. So Minshew has time, down by 3. They would have been tied. Let me make it clear. This would have been an OT game if they didn't screw up the first half in Jacksonville. Interception. Game over. Good night. Drive home safely. Victory formation. The best play call in all sports. Titans win 33-30. But let's talk about what I thought about this game. You got to give a little bit of respect to Gardner Minshew. He played okay-ish. Again, 30 of 45, 339, 3 touchdowns, but those 2 picks killed the Jaguars. One of them more so than the other. It's in game, okay. Yeah, the Titans can intercept that ball, keep the game in their hands. Bravo. But James Robinson, great showing on the ground. 16 carries, 102 and a touchdown. Really was the offense for the Jaguars for the most part. Titans side, Derrick Henry didn't do very well in terms of yardage. 25 carries, 84 yards, 3.4 yards per carry. Ryan Tannehill, again, we criticized a little bit of him not making good plays early in the Broncos game. He made great plays here. 18 of 24, 239, 4 touchdowns. Here's the key point. See the goose egg around the interceptions. That's the key difference in this game. The 2 interceptions the Jaguars gave away versus the 2 interceptions the Titans got. Harold Landry sealing the deal at the end. Congratulations. Not a lot of great plays made defensively at all by the Titans. I only see 2 sacks total. Kenny Varaco and a tackle for loss by Jaron Brown. And then you've got another sacked by Jack Crawford. That's not going to do it, folks, in terms of defensive play. Baracco was all over the field. Malcolm Butler had a good game with 8 tackles too. But I think this was not a very solid game. Rashard Evans had 6. I feel like this defense really let up a lot too much, especially in that second half. We weren't expecting a shootout. We were expecting a close game. Yes, we weren't expecting the team that loses having 30 points. So week 2, we are done, son. Congratulations to our Tennessee Titans after a 2-0 start. Nothing better than saying 2-0 going against two conference opponents, not division, excuse me, to start off the year. Now we get to the real, maybe they're great, maybe they're not so great when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings, who I believe laid an egg here against the Colts. And the Colts, I'm not sure why people are so high on the Colts. I don't think they're that grand. I'm not saying the Colts are terrible, but you could look at this. Going against the tough Steelers team, you could be looking 3-0, top of your division, with a conference and a divisional game, which adds into it. So 2-0 in the conference, 1-0 in the division. It's a big game now and for the Vikings. If the Vikings don't get anything done in this game, they're staring down 0-3. So this is a massive game for both sides. For the Titans, you could be up 3-0 in your division with a win in the conference and a division, 2 conference wins, 1 divisional. You could be up in your division. Everyone's staring up at you going against Pittsburgh the following week. For the Vikings, you're down 0-2. You can't go 0-3. Your likelihood of making anything happen, even with the expanded extra postseason team, doesn't look very good anymore. But really, if you had the Titans 2-0 like I did, congratulations. I don't know if the Vikings are that weaker of a team, but they're not playing well. I could see the Vikings winning this game, but I still like the Titans when it comes to what I've seen on the field so far. The big test is going to come in week 4 with the Steelers, and I'm hoping we're at that point, we're 3-0, but I'll wait till that for next week. I just got to say congratulations on the Tennessee Titans. Great play in terms of getting it done. I'm not happy with this defense. Gave up way too many big plays. I am happy with how opportunistic they were. It looks like a tip pick. Yeah, tip pick interception to win the game. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Titans needed this win probably more so because, again, 1-1 might not sound bad, but when you're 1-1 against a divisional opponent who's 2-0 against divisional opponents, Jacksonville, they would have won 2-0 in the division, not just 2-0 on the schedule, 2-0 in the division. Now you have an uphill hill to climb automatically. That's a huge bonus for Tennessee. So like, share, subscribe. We'll be doing week 2 next week against the Minnesota Vikings, win or lose. But until then, thank you for watching and later.